Season's over, you're still sweating.
I'm
You're always
sweating.
Season's over, you're still sweating.
I think it might be the light. Well, I just left out of Sam's office, so I might be sweating a little bit. That was a joke.
What'd Sam tell you?
The usual Sam.
What is the usual Sam?
I mean, you know, just different things about being a man, accountability, things like that.
Where are some areas that you saw this team grow this season, mature, and where can they mature even more next year?
Well, I mean, one thing I seen was, you know, it's easy to reflect back on the last 2 or 3 weeks on the postseason, but can't get distracted on what we did. I mean, we can't look past on what we did in the regular season. Basically, we had 5 to 6 guys that played on last year's final team that came back this year. So, I mean, you know, we had about 7 or 8 new guys to the team. And we ended up with #1 seed in the West, 60 wins. I think we went defensively. We went ranked from being ranked number 9 to number 4 overall. Offensively, we was ranked #1 or #2 in points, #1 and #2 in field goal percentage. So really don't have too many complaints. I thought late in the season we started cutting down on our turnovers. I thought with the year before that we was last in the league in assists. We was number 19 or something like that. So one stat sheet I do look at is the stat sheet that be at the back of the packet all the time that show your rankings on where you at. So I keep up with that, so because it's very important to me, team rankings.
So how do you look at it, Perk? You're a bottom line guy. Does the postseason wipe out a great regular season? I mean,
Nah, I can't say that. I could say that if we was healthy and wasn't caught off guard by, you know, one of our star players going down, then I could say that. But I can't say that, especially with the young guys that we have. Kevin Martin, his first time really in the playoffs. So, I mean, seen a lot of growth. Serge was phenomenal this year. Thought he should have made the All-Star game, in my opinion. But, I mean, I really didn't see no negatives really in this season. I mean, the postseason, yeah, I wish I could have did better. I think we all wish we could have did better, but I thought we fought to the end. Say we was down one of our key guys. I thought every game we had a chance to win. We didn't go out swinging, so I know one thing, Memphis know they was in the fight, so that's the biggest thing. It's cool.
Twice in your career that an injury has cost you a chance at the championship, the first being against the Lakers, right?
No, actually this was my 3rd time. Because actually KG got hurt one year, so we was knocked out in the 2nd round. We didn't have KG, and when I was in Boston then, I didn't play Game 7, so I don't know how they would have went, but the odds was kind of in our favor, and then just with Russ. So, I mean, things happen. So, I mean, just got to be better prepared, I guess. All of us can't take guys for granted. You know, hear a lot of things about Russ on a daily basis when he playing about what he do or what he don't do. But obviously, we all see how important he is to this team and what he bring. I think us missing Russ this year, Russ do one thing that stands out to me. He give everybody swag. He give everybody swag, from Coach Brooks to KD to myself. I feed off of Russ. Russ may say he feed off of me, but I feed off of Russ. Even through them spurts where we was struggling 1st and 3rd quarters of scoring, they usually be Russell's quarter right there where he go off for about 15, 18 points sometimes. So just know not to take everybody for granted, man, and just value everybody because everybody's important.
Does it make it any easier to move on, to say we didn't have Russ, so kind of just tuck this one away and go back next year?
No, not really, because it's your NBA life, so it's like a year wasted. So, I mean, and we're not satisfied because I feel like we still could have got through that series. So we're not just satisfied with saying, oh, we fought hard and we just go, that's just what it is. I mean, I know a lot of guys didn't go to sleep last night. I didn't. So at the end of the day, we weren't just satisfied. I still thought, to be honest with you, in my opinion, I thought we had a chance to make it to the finals. I didn't know if we had a chance to win the finals, but I thought we had a chance to make it to the finals. So, but we didn't. So, we got to move on.
Did you realize he was that important, Russell?
Yeah, I never took Russ for granted. I never was a guy who always seen what he brought to the table. I mean, he put so much pressure on the team is ridiculous. He's the most athletic guy to ever play that position, and what he brings to the table, it's crazy. I mean, he's top 5 players. You can't, if you name 5 players that's better than Russ in the NBA right now, you can't. You can't. He should be on the first team, all NBA team. What he averaged 23, 5, and 8 or something crazy. Some great numbers.
You talked about your NBA life, like, in other words, it's a pretty short career, generally speaking. Do you feel, I mean, is it harder to think, like, gosh, you could have left 2 or 3 championships on the table if these things wouldn't have happened?
Yeah, I think about it sometimes, but, I mean, it happens, man. It's life. So, I mean, you just got to move forward, move on. So, hopefully, well, we will. Everybody just got to get better this summer and just come back even stronger next year. Just keep building. Just try to keep getting better at the little things. I always tell everybody we all got flaws. That's the good thing about our team is that our team is built on. The way our team is built is that we all cover each other's flaws. So I may not be a better shot blocker than Serge, but I may do other things on the defensive end better than Serge. Serge is, just we balance each other out. For us, KD and Russ. Russ' attitude and the way he carry himself and the way he go about it on the court, and KD kind of like the laid back. You know what I mean? Like everybody balance each other out. So that's the good thing about our team.
You mentioned Russ. We asked Scott Brooks where they can get some post scoring, and he mentioned Russ. You good with that, or is that insulting to you, or you understand where he's coming from?
No, I'm cool with that. I mean, I'm not a guy that's like I'm cool with who I am. I mean, I've been in the league for 10 years. Doc Rivers told me about 7 years ago. He called me into his office. He said, "Just be who you are." You could be in the NBA for a long time just being who you are. So at the end of the day, I just do what I do, and I take pride in what I do. So it is what it is.
Do you think people underappreciate that? Because it's not, doesn't show the stats a lot. You can't look at a number and say you do this or that. Does the average fan, you think, underappreciates that?
Well, I mean, it's a give and a take. I mean, it don't really matter to me. So at the end of the day, I kind of had that attitude of why not, and I don't really care what people think of me anyway. So I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do. Long as I know that the people in the organization know what I bring to the table and know my teammates know what I bring to the table, everything else is irrelevant to me. At the end of the day, I'm trying to win championships, so whatever it takes. And wise man once told me, stop listening to people who don't care about you. And that's how I go about it.
Who was that wise man?
I'd rather not say.
You've obviously heard the talk, right, that they could amnesty you or trade you or something. Did you come away from that meeting with any indication of whether they were thinking along those lines?
Well, they said, Mark Cuban said they could have amnestied Kobe Bryant. So, anybody's capable of getting amnestied. But at the end of the day, no, I don't feel that way. I mean, it's easy to point the finger at somebody or just say, oh, well, if something don't go right, or if something, it's easy to say, oh, let's just make a change. And then you make a change, and what if the change don't work? Then you need to make another change. So, at the end of the day, you don't see San Antonio just just sitting up here making changes all of a sudden. They stick with what they believe in. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty comfortable, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be back here next year. So I'm not worried about that. They said it was going to amnesty me last year or trade me last year, whatever. I mean, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm cool with myself. Like, I'm going to go to sleep tonight.
What do you think you bring to this team?
A lot. I think I bring a lot. I think I'm a big brother. I bring that. I bring tenacity to this team. And I do a lot of little things that probably don't show up on the stat sheet. I give guys their courage, and I'm happy with that. So it's good. Despite all the other things, the setting screens and being in position on the defensive end, I'm just talking about I'm giving guys what they need to have. Going out there, giving them their courage, and we're going out there and do what we got to do.
Are you a counselor for this group? Are you sort of a counselor in a way for this group?
I wouldn't say a counselor, but I kind of just we just kind of approach every game without having any fear. So we're not scared of anyone. So that's what my most important thing, my message has been. But as far as a counselor, no. But do I answer people phone calls at 4 o'clock in the morning to talk about basketball? Yeah, I do that. And I don't mind doing it. I mean, we don't just talk about basketball. We talk about personal problems to whatever. And I think that's why we so close. And that's why, as brothers, sometimes you'll see guys get into it on the court. It happens. When you be around guys for however long the NBA season is, in 82 games, y'all not go see eye to eye every day. So things happen, but at the end of the day, we all a good family, so it's cool.
Who calls you at 4 in the morning?
Huh?
Who calls you at 4 in the morning?
No, I mean, KD, Russ, Fish. Yeah.
Not gone to bed yet, or are they up already?
Probably not going to sleep. I mean, sometimes you may land after loss on the road. Sometimes they may call you when they get home. I mean, you just got to be open-minded.
Charge extra for those? That's extra out. You charge extra for that?
Do I do charge extra?
Charge extra?
Nah, because sometimes I do the same. I do.
We always hear about what you do doesn't show up in the stat sheet. A couple years ago in Boston, you were averaging 10, 8, about 2 blocks. What was the difference between then and now? How do you want to get back to those, not necessarily scoring, but just being...
Well, I would like to pick up my rebounding. That's something that I can do more. But you got to understand, too, at that time that I was averaging whatever those numbers were, KG was out at that time. So they expected a lot more out of me at that time. He was hurt at that time. So at that time, I had to do a lot more. Well, on this team, that's not my role. I don't know about averaging 10 points on this team is what I need to do. We lead the league in scoring, so I don't know how many But as far as rebound, I could do a better job on that. As far as blocking shots, I definitely could not just put it all on Serge. I could do a better job and get back to that two blocks a game type range. So.
Injuries, have they taken a toll?
I don't want to blame it on that because I always feel like if I'm out there, then I should be able to get the job done.
You've been around young, developing point guards, Rajon Rondo, Russell, obviously. I don't want to put Reggie in that class, but what stands out about him in this playoff run that you've seen from him, and what's important for a young point guard to have to be able to develop?
You talking about like all three of them?
No. I'm just saying for Reggie, what have you seen? I just know that you've seen a lot of young point guards at your time, so I'm just curious what you've seen.
Well, all the point guards that I haven't seen, like as far as Rondo, Russ, Reggie, they all divas. That's first thing. But that's in a good way, though. That's in a good way. All the point guards in the league now are divas, but it's in a good way, though. But now, I think Reggie gained a lot of confidence in this playoff series. I thought he stepped up. He played well. He learned a lot of things on what to do and what not to do. I thought his decision-making was pretty good. I thought if I had to give him a grade, just, the way it happened and how he had to just step in, I have to give him an A. I thought he did a great job.
It's easy to see how the playoffs helped Reggie. Will you just talk about how the playoff experience, another year of it, helped a guy like Serge who seemed to work through some things as well during the playoffs?
Yeah, he went through a couple of things, a little adversity, but he bounced back. One thing I know about guys on this team is if they have a bad game or one thing I know about guys on this team is that they always into the social network, so they always checking Instagram, always checking Twitter after games to see what people saying about them, and they I guess it's a good thing in a way because they want to go back and prove people wrong. So I thought Serge really grew up. It was a few times he could have hung his head, but he didn't. He just kept pushing. Thought he put a lot of pressure on himself to start making shots, which I thought kind of hurt him in a way, but that just tell you how much he wanted to win and how much he wanted to do well.
What do you think about Serge maybe going to see Olajuwon in the offseason?
I think the Olajuwon thing is overrated to me. I think he was a guy that just had a special gift. Like some things you can't teach. You know, like if you go back and watch, because I was a Houston Rockets fan, and I was a Olajuwon fan growing up. If you go back and watch Olajuwon and all the moves that he used to make and stuff like that, man, I mean, a lot of guys try to go work with him, and you see a lot of guys try to even do the dream shaking almost, and, you know, they be falling on their face. So at the end of the day, I think that's a special gift. Like, seriously, I mean, I think nowadays you just got to have your go-to move, a counter, and then if you want to add a couple other moves, but things he had in his game was just like, you can't really teach that. So that's just my opinion.
You're not going to surprise us with two more off-season surgeries. You left last year, we didn't know anything was wrong, and then
How you didn't know anything was wrong?
when you left last year, we didn't know anything was wrong, and you had 2 surgeries. Is anything wrong this year? Or are you gonna?
Nah.
Okay, that's what I'm just asking.
But I'm saying I thought the world knew I tore my growing muscle.
Well, the thumb, was it the?
Oh, my wrist.
Yeah, wrist. Sorry.
I ain't want to, I ain't want to just. It was cool. It's whatever. Nah, but I'm not having no surgeries though. I'm serious. I'm good.
Thanks, Perk.
All right.
Perk did it in his own press conference.